What is going on, guys? Yet again, this is the Comic Guy with another video just for you guys. And interesting enough, today we're going to be talking about Let's Join the Dark Side. Here it is, guys. Let's talk about Star Wars, The Mandalorian. That is coming out in Disney Plus services, streaming services, coming out in 2019, December 2019 to be specific. We don't have a date yet. We don't have a trailer yet. All we know is that Jon Favreau. If you guys don't know who Jon Favreau is, he is the director of Iron Man. He's the one that brought us Iron Man. He's the one that brought us the live version of the Jungle Book. And also, he's going to bring us the live version of the Lion King. Stay tuned because that's going to be pretty cool. I love it. And the next one thing is, he's going to be executive producer and writing the Star Wars Mandalorian with an all-star cast of super freaking awesome directors. We got Taika Waititi. If you guys don't know who Taika Waititi is, he's the director of Thor Ragnarok. We have Dave Filoni, that he started the Rebels. He started the Clone Wars. He directed those the Star Wars animated universe. So he's coming in, and we have so pretty much we have those are pretty good directors under the wing of Jon Favreau as executive producer and writer of the show, and that's gonna be pretty much so badass. But of course, plot details emerge. It's not a lot, but this is what I got so far. This is what they're teasing that the Mandalorian live action series is going to be having with, and I'm going to show you some of the actors they have chosen for this show. So it's going to be pretty much pretty badass. So Boris Kid in Twitter tweeted out, "Sources tell me the story is set about 5 years after the event of the Return of the Jedi, and is set in the Outer Rims, where people don't know and don't care what the Empire has fallen. Gives them latitude in telling certain stories." And so pretty much what it's saying is it's going to be based on the Outer Rims. That's an untouched territory in the Star Wars universe. We heard about it. You know, they have mentioned it in many of the films, but they are actually going to bring, it's going to be based on the Outer Rim. So, you know, Mandalorians are coming. We're going to have a lot of great story. I don't know how many episodes total going to be. This is some of the details as they're coming out. I'm giving it to you guys. So, as what you guys heard, that is going to be on the Outer Rims. 5 years after Return of the Jedi, the Empire has fallen and the First Order hasn't established yet. So in that, let's see what's going to happen between those years, or what's going to happen. So I believe is like 10 years before the Force Awakens, but it's after the Return of the Jedi when the Empire falls. And a lot of people are going to be asking, where's Boba Fett? We'll get into that later. But, so that was like the official synopsis for Star Wars The Mandalorians. Do reveal similar information. So, remember that came out of a tweet. So now this one, it says, The Mandalorian is set after the fall of the Empire and before the emergence of the First Order. We follow the travels of a long gunfighter in the outer reaches of the galaxy, far from the authority of the New Republic. And that's pretty much the synopsis. Especially now, man, when they cast some of the actors that they have cast, I was totally like, wow, they going out, because you might not have seen them in a long time, but they're good actors. We got Pedro Pascal. If you guys don't know about Pedro Pascal, he came out in Netflix Narcos. He also came out in Game of Thrones. And he also came out in oh my god, what's that movie? The Kingsman Inner Circle. Gina Carano, I believe she was an MMA fighter, and she also came out in Deadpool 1, and she was one of the villains. Nick Nolte, he came out in Hulk. He does a lot of old school movies. Everybody knows who Nick Nolte is. And Apollo himself, Carl Weathers, are involved in the Star Wars series. And what also the surprising reveal for me was Giancarlo Esposito. He's into the whole Star Wars cast, and Werner Herzog. Don't know too much about Werner Herzog, but it's gonna be interesting to bring him over. And then you have, of course, Jon Favreau as the executive producer of the series and writer of the series. So it's going to be interesting to know how they're going to bring this to life and how Disney's going to go forward with a Star Wars universe. Is this going to be the first live action Star Wars universe that they're going to just stay, or are they going to go in different directions? Maybe a Boba Fett show. Because a lot of people don't know if Boba Fett is dead or not, as we have some fans that wishes that he didn't die when he fell into the sand worm, and some people say that he escaped. So, I mean, there's pretty much 50 and 50% on how that, but they could, they have so many others. They might bring a Jedi is out in the outer rims. We don't know how they're gonna go forward with the Mandalorian, or if they're gonna be the only one, and they're gonna go and out of their regular movies and go into the series and build a whole new Star Wars series right out of the books and right out of the whole universe, out of the movies. Because you guys know you got the Clone Wars, you got the Rebels, now you got Resistance. So you have different animated Star Wars shows. You have the Star Wars video games. You have the Star Wars movies, of course, and then going to the show. It's going to be interesting to see what they're going to bring. So I can't wait to actually see what they're going to bring with the Mandalorian. I think Pedro Pascal, he's the one that's taking over the Mandalorian. It's going to be interesting how they're going to go forward. They have some great directors coming in. I mean, you got Dave Filoni that pretty much knows a lot about Star Wars because, he directed the Clone Wars, the animated series, and also directed Rebels, the animated series. So he knows about the Mandalorians. He knows, and it's good that he actually, because I have like the list of who's taking over those, and of course, Dave Filoni will be doing the first episode. Episode 1 will be coming to Dave Filoni, and what else? And it is best to come out with a director that knows the show, that knows the characters, because he created the Clone Wars. He created, the Rebels. So having that, he's gonna be doing a great thing. So let's see, because they keeping this on the wraps. Like, they don't haven't even said anything about the show. It's really on the wraps. So I can't wait to actually see when they're gonna drop a trailer or anything of that sort, because I really want to see what they're gonna bring to this extended universe they want to create, as it's already been created by George Lucas, and let's just expand into what else they can bring, because they have Star Wars is such an open space. Like, you're talking about Star Wars, you're talking about a galaxy. Okay, so you're talking about a full galaxy that has millions and billions and trillions of people that we don't know about. There could be Jedis that we don't know about. There could be different races that it doesn't have to be. Let me get this right. It doesn't all have to be about Jedis, but it would be interesting to see a different look at a Jedi that nobody knew about, and that survived, or that the Force, after the Force awakened, some kid in the other galaxy, his Force awakened within him, and the new Force, the new Force awakening, and thousands of people, or the chosen ones, become Jedi and or the dark side. You know, maybe you have some kind of guy that doesn't really care much about goodness, cares about and goes into it. The whole thing about Star Wars is just such a big platform of things that could happen that you really be like, wow, I could expand. Bounty hunters. You have the rebels. You have have so much. It could be about about the First Order. It could be about the fall. What happens to some of the soldiers that were in that end up in the Empire and Empire falling? What happens to them? There's so many millions of options that you could do with the Star Wars universe. It's so amplified that you could choose and pick and choose on what's happening after or before, wherever which way you could take it. It doesn't all have to be about the Empire, but it could be in the Star Wars universe. They could I'm telling you, it's an open world that is just amazing. So there's so much things that could happen because you have bounty hunters, you have Jedis, you have soldiers, you have generals, you have, oh my god, different races. Oh, it's just an incredible thing to see what they could bring out of the Star Wars universe. So this being one of the first ones, I would love to see what else. So far this is the only thing that we have. At least we know what the hypnosis is. We know that it's going to be about a Mandalorian, a gunslinger in the Outer Rims, untouched territory. That's pretty much what the basis is. But let's see what's gonna happen next. What are you most excited about? Star Wars. What character would you like to see in the show come out? Let me know down below. Yet again, this is the Comic Guy with another video. Make sure you guys press like. Make sure you guys hit that notification. Make sure you guys subscribe to my channel. Until next time, peace.